Nothing like winning the football game. You know, the first game of the season, you put an awful lot into it, and everybody wants to get off to a good start. And for us, you want to be challenged in every way. So we really have something to measure our football team by. Having a lead in the first quarter or in the first half, and having, you know, not playing a great third quarter, and then having to reach down, though, and pull out a win said an awful lot about our young team. As you know, as we knew going into the game, there were a lot of young players we were going to play. I think we had something like 24 first-year players out there on the football field today. So we grew. We grew. A lot of individual performances that we need to talk about. Starting with Mike Dudick. It's been a long time coming. For Mike, you know what type of player he is. He was really excited about it. The plan, of course, was for him to get reps at the wide receiver position, but as a punt returner. And when you have a good football player, you need to get his hands on the ball as often as possible. Those of course, touchdown was big, but those punt returns really said an awful lot about where we are. Trey Watson, voted team captain. It was a situation where you needed your leaders to step up and make some plays. Of course, he was able to do that. Blake Hayes, first time of seeing a football game in America to punt that way was pretty impressive. So I like the way the team finished. We realize we have a long ways to go, and we will. We made decision going into the game to fake our first touchdown if we scored early. So, of course, hindsight, you would do things a little bit differently, but we had that on video. People now know that we will possibly do that. So, not a whole lot to complain about. When you win, we'll make the corrections and get ready for Western Kentucky next week. Take your question.
Obviously closer than maybe you would want, but you get the win. But the way you did it, two of the touchdowns that were big to start and end the game were all because of turnovers and takeaways and getting the ball. Obviously, how important was that to set the tone for the offense?
Well, for you to have been around here a while, you know how much we preach taking the ball away. I mean, that's the winning edge, to take it away. Setting up the first touchdown, of course, they're late. Great job, by our players. But, when you get those takeaways, you need to be able to capitalize on it. So we're able to do that too. So that's definitely one of the positives we'll draw from.
First couple of plays from scrimmage, you went for a pass instead of a run. Was that you thought you'd catch them off guard?
Absolutely. Early in the game, run, pass, we don't have any tendencies. You want to mix it up, and that's what we're trying to do.
Christian and Larry Boyd didn't play in the first quarter. What was the reason behind that?
Coach's decision. All right. It's been a long camp. Some of the guys just not, legs bother them a little bit, just not quite where we wanted them to be. But we knew it was going to be a long game, so we were able to get them in there a little bit late on.
So to clarify, that was something physical, not disciplinary?
Clarified, it was a coach's decision that they didn't play.
Talk about Mike Epstein, really impressive debut for him.
Very. With the amount of freshmen we had playing, Mike Epstein has been good since he's been on campus. Hasn't missed a rep through our training camp. So it's not like it's a total shock to us. We felt real good about our running back position. Rayvon Bonner didn't play a lot today, but we feel good about him too. And day like today, you need to be able to get that running game going.
Your offensive line was banged up during camp, and with Doug Kramer going down today, how's the health of everybody else after the game?
We're banged up. We talked about Christian's a little banged up, but it's kind of next guy up, and that's what we're able to do today. Doug Kramer, of course, has done a great job for us, but to be able to switch like that, and when you have to score points, well, it's saying a lot.
How'd Chase play today?
I'm sorry?
How'd Chase play today?
I think we play well enough to get a win, and I very seldom try to complain about very much when you get a win, but there's some things we need to correct. But that's what you normally do. From week 1 to week 2, you want to see more improvement. Ball State's a young ball club like we were, both trying to get a win. We know next week, we're seeing an even better football team come in here, so we'll all have to play better next week.
Lovie, was there one thing to that third downs early in the game
I'm sorry, offensively or defensively?
Defensive.
No, I mean quarterback scrambling. I probably mentioned that. Normally we had some favorable third down situations, third and long. Quarterback scrambling for first downs. Just can't allow that to happen. Those are things that we should be able to tighten up, and we'll have to in order for us to win more games.
You mentioned the resiliency factor. Just when you have a young team, what are the dividends of, kind of being tested like that, and then?
I think Ken.
You know, as a coach, you want to put the guys in as many tough situations the first game as possible. And we've been telling them and talking about how, just conditioning, getting your rest, nutrition, all those things. It pays off. They're late. Guys were tired at the end. Both teams were. But we had a little bit more. But, again, you can only talk about it, but you need to be in those situations. And the day we had to, we're down in the third quarter, we needed to stand up. Guys needed to individually, take a stand. And every team goes, gets in a game where it's tight like this. And so we'll learn an awful lot from this video.
Lovie, the difference in a win and a loss here is a pretty thin line. In your experience, for a young team, what is the difference between that going forward?
Well,
it is a thin line. I mean, just here, there, play here, there. But that's how it goes. But it says something about when it's a tight game and you find a way to win it. And that's what's important. We want it to be 1-0. Have one win, after our first game. We have that. And the way we were able to get it, we're going to grow from this. Again, with the young football team, there are a lot of positives to take from this game.
Talk about the final play to seal the win.
The block punt, the block field goal. At the end, I think we've been in that situation a couple of times. Got a lot of time out at the end. We want the kicker to think about it as much as possible, but also give our guys a chance to catch their breath. We knew it was coming down to one play, and we needed to be at our best. I think Jamal Milan is the guy that blocked it, but it needed to play there at the end, and we came through it.
Delshon Phillips said he started out as a third teamer when he opened camp. I think 16 tackles today. Can you just talk about the progress he's made?
A lot of progress. Junior college player coming in, but all he's done is just work. Sometimes when players aren't with the starting group right away, they complain. Delshon Phillips just went to work. And I've never seen it where a guy didn't deserve to play that didn't get an opportunity to. So he took advantage of it. I know he had a lot of tackles today, but he'll tell you his play. He has the ability to take another step, and we'll need him to do that as we go forward.
Tim Sparford didn't play today?
Yes.
Team rules were broken, so that's why he didn't play.
We had a couple guys that,
Miss, and eventually we'll get some guys back, but we have things in place, and sometimes guys don't make great decisions, and you go from there.
One game deal or?
we're talking about.
One game right now. Try not to look too far in the future. He didn't play today. He's suspended today. We'll see next week.
It's tough to tell from the field level, of course, but what did you see from the offensive line today?
Well, it's tough for me to see from field level, like you said. They had some pressure at times. I mean, we didn't rush the ball as well as we needed to, but when we needed to, we came through. You have to shuffle the line like that, have a couple of guys you're missing, but for the guys to put together a good enough group to have some production says quite a bit. A lot of players played today and played a whole lot of football for us, so you have to like that.
You were able to get the ball to Malik Turner and Buck Epstein in your last couple drives. Do you think that made a difference maybe in your last score?
Yes, I mean, our best players. I mean, you want to get the ball to your best players throughout the game, but crunch time, you need to play. You go to guys like that. We talked about what Mike Dudick was able to do, but Malik Turner has made a lot of great plays for us around here, and those were big at the end. Good throws. First off, protection had to be good. Good throws by Chase, and the guys, had production on the other end.
Epstein, can you discuss what you saw from him during camp and how he progressed and just, what you see skill-wise from him even as?
Well, Mike Epstein has been with us for a long time. First day I was on the job here, Mike was committed to the University of Illinois. He loved our university, stayed true to his word throughout. We loved him as a player, and all we've gone on so far is what he's done since he's been on campus, and it has all been here, where he put himself in a position to get playing time. Of course, How about your first game, first play for us for the season? Mike's returning a kickoff. So he can do some things. Catch the ball out of the backfield. He can run in between the tackles. It's a lot to like about him.
It just seemed like maybe with Kendrick Foster's carries, he got the ball and didn't have a lot of room to run. Did you see him kind of just get bobbled up a little bit?
Yeah, it happens like that sometimes. You know, your player like Kendrick, though, eventually we keep feeding both of those guys, he'll be able to break his. Some games are like that. You know, and if there's no room for a lot of yards, you protect the football. And so Kendrick will have his day.
What did you see out of Isaiah Gay? Because he was kind of a late find, and you might think you might redshirt him.
Well, that was never part of the red shirt. Just to stir on Isaiah Gay. He was probably the last recruit that we offered. It's not a recruiting area that we normally go to. Someone sent in a tape. We looked at it. For me, whenever you see a defensive end with 12 and a half minutes of highlights in your senior year, you got to look at him a little bit closer. He's been like that. He can rush off the edge. Extremely strong for a guy's size. Another one of those young freshmen we're going to love seeing.